This person has kindly been a proofreader for John for many years for the anthology and various different things, and has helped us in many ways behind the scenes. And today we're happy to have Bill Arnold with us.
Oh my God, I'm on television. I've already looked online. If you haven't been to YouTube, you should go and peek. Has everybody been to YouTube and seen the readings?
I did.
John, put it in the newsletter. Here I am telling John what to do. All right, this is my book, which John helped me put together. And I forgot when we published it. I think it was last year. It's called Beachcomber. Obviously, it's about Florida. And I will explain the cover in the first selection, which is a prose poem. All right, the first section is a prose poem, and it's the intro to the book. It's called Beachcomber. And showing you the cover again, it shows a kid on a beach, which is St. Petersburg. When I was a kid in St. Pete, barely a year old, my mother's friend Joe LaRocca took the picture on the cover of this book of me with the $1 Million Pier in the background and published it on the front page of the St. Pete Times. That was 1938. This is ad-libbing. I was the beachcomber. Finding poems in your mind is like finding shells on a beach. My father always told me there was nothing to find in our past, as his father's father ran away with a lady of the night and left my grandmother Ella with a slew of kids, and he was forever the great-grandmother, and he was forever the black sheep of the family. All he knew was that the renegade had ferried people back and forth between St. Pete and Bradenton back before bridges. So I set off in search of the renegade skeletons in my own mental closet. My mother was an Irish O'Neill and Portuguese Tarvis from the north, and had met my father on the beach at spring break way back before the Second World War, and the rest is history. Then I found out I was a 6-month preemie baby. And my father had to marry my mother. God, the poetic shells I found on my beach. Of course, before the war between the states, we Southerners say between the states, we don't call it the Civil War, Ella's mother had lived in Madison County, Florida. It's my great-grandmother, just east of Tallahassee. And when the soldiers from the north invaded our farms to the south of Georgia, the menfolk and the boys were impressed into the gray uniforms of the Confederate Army, and the women and children were left to fend for themselves. Ella's mother, Huldah, got all the kids into a covered wagon with pots and pans dangling on ropes on the side, and oxen dragged them for days south to Hillsborough County and Fort Brooke, near today's St. Pete, Tampa Bay area. The war raged on, and some of the men were captured and dragged north to prison camps and died, and others were given the chance to turn coats inside out, called themselves blue turncoats, and fought for the Union Army until the South surrendered, and the rest, again, was history. First poem, Existence. This is the first poem in the book. And I've got to ad-lib. The first poem begins with love. The last poem ends with the word God. And I structured it that way. So the book ends with love and ends with God. Existence. Love is a game, and we don't get it. Life sets the rules. Sunrise, blue skies, count the hours. Come tomorrow, candles and lockets. Nail biters look for the scoreboard beyond mountains of thunder clouds. You don't need to clap. Palm bleach, and I emphasize bleach, not beach. Palm bleach. Great good old boys in the Everglades Club. Who do they care who they snub? High in Palm Bleach high society. Hope there's no ladies from Palm Beach here. Extra, extra. Has the steel wheel appear to $5 million per annum? To what's his name? What's her name? Clad in plaid, glades green slacks, olive tan moccasins, Moroccan moccasins, no socks, smoking smelly green Havana cigars, drinking lots of ice, cubed scotch, talking shop, stocks, oceanfront blots, stiletto-heeled palm bleach blondes, blots. I had so much fun writing that. I once met Donald Trump at his place. Gardenia, the plant. Carved in ivory, full bloom, like sculpture, imposter plant, scheming rose must impose now outside my screened sleeping window. Spring in the tropics, green shrub, suddenly thing of such exotic, vanilla-scented, waking dreams. Firebush, another plant. A lot of southern poems here, Florida. Rosy dawn by the inland lake, flocks of ibis fly, V groups and Y and white formations. Out of lakeside cattail reeds, jackdaws scream, strut and tufted, checking my time here. Anybody check my time?
I'm checking.
How long am I going?
You're fine.
Okay, thank you, dear. Out of lakeside cattail reeds, jackdaws scream, strut in tufted caps, the new mown lawn. Tiny hummingbirds, white and green, sip larkspur blooms, then in midair lean into delphiniums, similar shapes, flower stalks, no mistakes. A giant green and yellow swallowtail butterfly spins about a vibrant red firebush. Water hyacinths, another plant. At the foot of the trail by the lake, green hearts on turquoise waters. Water hyacinths, lavender blue, crowns of gems, diadems. A snowy white egret, yellow beak, black stick legs, rests statuesque. Next one's one of my favorite poems. Sanibel sailboat. I used to live over in the Tampa area. Sanibel sailboat. Taut blue sail, wind billowing arc. Her hair sun worshipped, swept yellow from the sea. Her eyes, gold gray blue, ablaze, skin like palm bark. Her laugh, sea flashing, this sailor's daughter smiled at me. A romantic place. What is it about escapism? A vision of a romantic place, nestled next a lake with ducks, trestled, if I'm pronouncing it right, trestled flowers on cottages, which draws us like fireflies. Consumed by bucks, jobs, we burn to death like moths. Lemon Slice Moon. This was published, I think, in the last anthology. John said I could go with it. Tart moon of the southern sky, lemon slice, a smile without a trace of malice. Tonight reminds me with upturned ends of her cute ways, cleverness. I've counted countless moons since then, seen them set on our pristine glades lake, when she departed on a moonlit night, backing the car out without lights. Tonight I can smile about it. She can be sure, amused by a capricious curvature, slice of life, not at all fooled by her artistry, bearing her face, hiding her teeth. Shaved. Inside that precious casket, but this is about a heart-shaped locket, heart-shaped, inside that precious casket, surrounded by a husk of gold, remains a kernel of truth. It was a picture of your face. I wear it empty round my neck. Bye-bye, baby. Okay, this is called Card Stack. This is a little bit longer poem, so I apologize. You have to bear with me. It's one page. Card Stack. It's a little bit complicated, so you've got to put your thinking caps on. So, you want to flaunt your hard-earned ignorance, pragmatic state, dead city, clutching your troubled ebb of flowing souls this dawn. You, my lady, stood out in a day. Timidly, you'd exhale, stroke your chin and hold your hat by its polyester fate. Why did you say you knew it all? Eclectic fools. We found out in time this peninsula carved from coral sand, ringed with green palms, cannot sing. Tossed a penny into the wishing well, there, next to Margate, by that hot inland lake, closing that asylum gate. I would have spent another lifetime sometime, somewhere. I know I would, counting copper pennies in a can, fizzing my marbled teeth in a jar. These are real. Those were days I always dreamed about, secure in my pockets, my bones bleached, combing my gray hair at the beach. It's a little bit white. Reno was no place to go. Come, love, get away from the window. Someone might see you naked from the street. She came back from her modeling job one night, uncapped the Johnny Walker, poured Old Red into her mouth straight. Her sleek red Jaguar snarled and bent, found next morning, front page news. Did she buy that red dress to die in? Now we know. She had detrained in Yuma, no doubt, postmark, Maverick, Arizona. I spread my toast in lime marmalade. The dead never dream in heaven. Thank you.